Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time of day this video finds you, man. It's your boy Jay here, and I'm talking hypotheticals this time today, man. So let's get right into it. So I'd call myself a little bit of a blunt aficionado, right? My two favorite weapons in the Monster Hunter series so far have been hammer, and I've recently fallen in love with the hunting horn. Both Rise and Iceborne and GU iterations of it. I mean, hunting horn has received so many changes recently, but I like them all for what they are. You know, I like bonk, I like knocking out monsters. It's super fun, right? However, looking at the weapon class list and getting a feel for all of the different weapons, I'm seeing a gaping hole that I think should be fixed with a new weapon. If you want to use a blunt weapon, it's going to be a big, slow weapon, right? It's going to be hunting horn or it's going to be hammer. Both of them are on the slower side of things. And I think blunt weapons need a fast-paced weapon, something akin to, I don't know, say dual blades, right? Or even a longsword or a sword and shield, which is kind of a hybrid at this point, the sword and shield. But we'll talk about that later. But yeah, I think blunt weapons need a fast type weapon. So I'm here to spit a little bit of hypotheticals about making this weapon and what maybe the moveset should be, could be, and just to spitball and have a little fun in this little downtime of Monster Hunter news. I mean, even though spring is coming, daylight it's lasting a little bit longer every day, and I'm like, oh yeah, spring is coming. That means sunbreak news is on the horizon. However, it ain't quite here yet, so let's talk hypotheticals and let's keep this fun. All right, be sure to comment down below your thoughts on my ideas of introducing a faster blunt type weapon, and let me know if I'm crazy or did I make an overpowered weapon. But that's enough intro rambling. Let's get into it. So yes, I've always seen that blunt weapons need a fast weapon class to help draw people to, maybe picking up a blunt weapon for the first time, right? Because if you want to pick up a blunt weapon, your choices are hunting horn or hammer. And hunting horn traditionally has been very complex. Oh my god, this song list, the recitals, I gotta stay here forever. Not very alluring for beginner players or players that are looking to get into something simple. And then the hammer is kind of a slower weapon class. Even though it's very mobile, you can hold a charge while running. It's still a slower, heavy weapon, and it's not something like dual blades or longsword where you can dish out a lot of attacks over a short period of time. Now, in Rise, they kind of changed the hunting horn a little bit to help draw in more players to play it, and it got quite a bit faster, right? Now the problem with that is the people who were diehard hunting horners, some of us are like, I don't know if I like this. They changed it a bit too much, right? And because of this change, I was watching a video by another monster tuber. I think that's what we're called. By another monster tuber. He goes by Heavy Wings, right? And he took a survey interviewing people about how they feel about the changes to hunting horn when it comes from Iceborne to Rise. And in that video, he said something that really hit the switch in my brain, and I was like, oh my god, yes. That kind of helped me put a moveset together for my hypothetical weapon. So without further ado, I'm gonna cut you to a small clip of that video, and I do have his permission, by the way. I'm gonna cut you to a small clip of his video where he talks about the differences between old and new hunting horn, and he kind of asks a hypothetical question that really just triggered me, and I was like, oh, okay, I gotta make a video now. I have it. I have the ideas. Let's put this down on paper and let's put it out to the masses. So yes, without further ado, I'm gonna let Mr. Heavy Wings take it away.
Capcom really made a whole new weapon with Rise that kind of ditched all that. So maybe that is what they should do. Have the old horn and the new horn coexist as different weapons. The new horn would be a faster, weaker, combo-centric weapon that could give basic buffs to the player using it, while the old horn would be much slower but stronger, and capable of dishing out stronger buffs with a bigger song list that is also much more complex, and they could apply to the whole party.
Alright, so thank you to Mr. Heavy Wings for allowing me to, reference his clip in this video. But you saw what he said, right? Have new horn and old horn coexist, right? Now, I'll admit I have more fun playing hunting horn when I'm playing the Iceborne type horn, right? Like, I really like lining up the songs, and doing the encores and the recitals, and it's really fun. And Rise Hunting Horn did kind of get old kind of quickly because it's just not as complex, it's not as deep, and you know, the songs kind of play automatically. And like echo mode, even though it's kind of sort of like how Hunting Horn used to be, it just ain't the same, right? Now, that's not to say I hate it, it's just different. It's still fun to play, it just doesn't evoke the same feelings and satisfaction in me like the old Hunting Horn does, right? So with this new weapon class type that I'm about to, you know, hypothetically spit at you, it will lean a bit on what Rise has done with its Hunting Horn, and then we can revive the old Hunting Horn. That way the two weapons can coexist. See where I'm going with this? This is a screenshot of that little clip that I showed you guys in the Heavy Wings video, and we're looking at a faster, weaker, combo-centered, simple buffs to just the wielder of the weapon, and like few songs and simple to execute, right? That's his hypothetical new horn, which sounds like a cool weapon, right? Now, let's ditch horn entirely, and let's go with Knuckle, okay? Let's have a Knuckle type weapon, right? Faster, weaker, combo-centered, simple buffs, and you know, with few combos, right? That's simple to execute. And now it's not like another horn type, it's its own thing. It's a Knuckle type weapon, so our hunters can be brawlers, right? Like imagine you got a quest to go hunt a Rajang. You like, yeah, I'm about to pick the Knuckles and I'm about to square up with a Rajang. What's up, baby? Or you can give these monsters the hands. Doesn't that sound incredible? Now we did get something you know, kind of similar to that in the Street Fighter collab, where we got Akuma in Rise, where if you equip a sword and shield, it's invisible and it looks like you're giving the monsters the hands, right? Now, Capcom, this is the same company that made Street Fighter. You trying to tell me they can't come up with a good balanced move set for a Knuckle type Monster Hunter weapon? You're crazy, right? And I mean, ever since then, I mean, I played that and I was like, dude, this is super cool. I really wish this was like a for real weapon where like I could just square up against monsters. Okay, now this video is gonna get a little goofy, okay? Because I'm not a professional fighter, but I'm about to model out small pieces of this hypothetical Knuckle moveset for you guys so that it's easier to envision what I have in mind when it comes to creating a Knuckle moveset, okay? So, starting off, we have a light attack, okay? And you can do a light attack by pushing the X button, okay? Now, this attack can be repeated to infinity. You can just stand there and light attack all day. Yeah. It's weak, it's fast, but you can just push weak. You can just keep going all day until you either get hit or you want to stop, right? So think about like a wild swing, right? You could just stand there and do these light hits all day if you want. Up next, we have strong attack, okay? Now this can be done by pushing the A button, and like light attack, you can continue to do it ad nauseum, infinity, until you're tired of it, okay? And yeah, it's slower, but a bit stronger, right? Has a bit more KO because, you know, it's an uppercut attack, and you can just do this forever and ever and ever, amen, just like light attack. Now here we have our X plus A attack, okay? Now when you do this, your hunter will put both fists together and do kind of like a big swing, like a hammer fist type motion, okay? Much slower than the other two, but way stronger and way more KO, okay? Now this one you cannot do for infinity, despite me swinging my arms like a fool. It's just to help illustrate the point that you can do this many different ways, right? And that's going to be important here in the next part. Now, remember in the card, right, in that new horn card, remember when Heavy Wings said this new horn is going to be combo centered? So you can put heavy, strong, and your hammer fist attacks comboed up together, right? So the heavy and light can be done for infinity, right? So you can do light, heavy, hammer fist, and that could be one combo, right? Or you could do heavy, light hammer fist, right? The hammer fist is going to be your finisher. Does that make sense? And you know, because you do the hammer fist, you've got some recovery frames, you've got some commitment there, right? Or you can cancel to roll it out, similar to something like a hammer swing with the hammer weapon. So you can combo the first two punches, heavy and light, you know, ad nauseum. So you can light, heavy, maybe heavy, light, heavy, and then you finish it with the hammer fist, okay? So that's where it all is kind of coming together. And then this next part, whoo, man, y'all gonna love it. So with that being said, right, with heavy and light punches being, able to be continued forever and ever, and then, your X+A hammer fist finisher, let's say each of your knuckle type weapon has a set list of combos, right? And pulling off those combos will reward you buffs similar to the Rise Hunting Horn, right? Which is why I have it playing up right now. You see what I'm saying? Now, maybe all of the knuckle type weapons have the same list, right? To where it'll be maybe light, heavy, light, hammer fist will be attack up, your attack up combo. And when you do that, you get attack up for something short, maybe a minute, maybe 45 seconds, maybe even 30 seconds, right? And you can have different combos which lead to different buffs, right? So maybe strong, light, strong hammer fist could be affinity up, right? So this is where the weapon can truly have a high skill ceiling, right? So you're able to get creative with your combos and unlock different buffs and keep them up as long as possible, right? Only a really good knuckle type hunter can have on as many buffs as possible and keep them all up, you know what I mean? Or maybe you have a really long string that ends with, of course, the hammer fist, right? So maybe like a 6 or 8 move long string that refreshes the timer on all of your current active buffs. You see what I'm saying? So something like that where the skill ceiling has now been elevated, right? Of course it's going to be fun just to pick up the weapon and run around punching monsters. Like, even the concept sounds fun, but here's where you get the technical, like, monster hunter, like, oh, I'm really good at this weapon because I can keep my attack up, affinity up, and I don't know, movement speed up at all times while I'm playing this weapon because I know my combo's so good. I've watched the monster so good. I know the openings that are long enough to do my attack up combo or to do my affinity up combo, right? So yeah, I know, like, when I was talking about it, like, yeah, you could do this for infinity, whatever, which is kind of like, hey, what? No stamina, punishment? You're not going to want to stand there and punch forever. You're going to want to be doing a combo so that when you finish with a hammer fist, you get a buff activated, and it's a self buff. It's not going to be a whole party buff, but it's simpler than, the hunting horn songs of old, and you don't have to stand still and do a little recital, right? You do it, you finish with your hammer fist, boom, the buff is active automatically, right? You don't have to push R to tell the game that you want to play the recital. So that's kind of the trade-off, right? We can still have the new Rise Hunting Horn playstyle, and then we can revive the old Hunting Horn. That way it has its recitals and its encores and the different songs for each Hunting Horn, whereas the Knuckle type has like a unified combo list. Does that make sense? So that, like, all the knuckles more or less play the same, but it's simpler and it's easier to use rather than, okay, what's my music sheet now? Like, no, you always know that light, heavy, light is gonna be attack up, or you know what I mean, just hypothetically speaking. So what do you guys think about that, right? What do am I onto something here, or do I need to rethink my ideas? Let me know in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear you guys' thoughts on these ideas that I have in my head, right? I could talk about Monster Hunter forever and ever ad nauseum, okay? But yeah, that's gonna be the video, man. I really hope that you guys enjoyed me looking like a fool standing around in front of my piano just punching air. But hey, that's the hypothetical knuckle moveset. I really do think that Monster Hunter needs to bring a fast blunt type weapon. Hell, you can revive the Tonfas from Frontier if you want and bring them back, but I really want there to be a fast blunt type weapon, right? I'm trying to score KOs by, really punching up a monster. Don't forget to subscribe and leave me a like on your way out. For Monster Hunter content, I will be continuing to pump out these videos for you guys, man. All different kinds of videos. I'm playing Monster Hunter, all of it. GU, Iceborne, Rise, and when Sunbreak hits, you already know we about to go hard, people. But as always, happy hunting. Peace.